Good day, CEA. This is Kristen Luevanos, your chapter president. I'm in with a little explanation video on the recent TA that went out, or the TA bargaining update that went out last Thursday. I've gotten a few questions. I received a few questions, and since they're sort of the same questions from multiple people, I wanted to do this video just to clarify. Do know that I am answering questions as they come in. So if anytime you have a question, send a question. Please give me up to 24, 48 hours, 48 hours if it's um, if there's something big coming up, like a bargaining day, because I'm usually busy with that. So again, 24 to 48 hours to respond, but usually I'm pretty quick. Okay, COLA questions. I got a lot of responses that were questions/comments like, oh, I was really hoping we'd get the COLA. I just want to remind you that this specific compensation package with the salary and healthcare is the COLA. You got 6% on schedule, which is a raise, and that means it goes on our salary schedule, which means it continues on forever until we bargain for more. Okay, so 6%, 3,000 a year for healthcare. That's 300 a month in the 10 months we pay healthcare. On this next pay stub, so your October 1st paycheck is the first month we start paying our healthcare in sort of after the summer months. Okay, but we pay 10 months. Not 11 months, not 12 months. We pay 10 months. That said, the 300 a month, right, is a little over that 3,000 total for the year, is a little over 3% for the majority of us. That said, that 3% plus the 6% puts us at 9%, plus the extra duty, the summer school, all that stuff. That stuff adds up to the overall package. So COLA, it was received for a majority of the members. So do understand that, I mean, that's awesome right there. Okay. Healthcare questions. I got a lot of questions about the update. So first, one party, two party, three party. What does that mean? One party is single person, two party is work that district employee plus one other person, and then three party is family. So three people or more. So if there's that person who works for the district, their spouse, or spouse, and then any children, one or more, right? So that's three party. So two party and three party got 3,000, which is 300 a month. That will be effective basically when healthcare starts, if we ratify. Not when healthcare starts, in January. So that said, there's that. Then the question I've been getting a lot is, why is the single payer only for next year? And that's not accurate. So what that was that 100% of their healthcare will be covered for that year, because we don't know if healthcare is going to go up in January 2025. So if healthcare costs go up in January 2025, it is not covered 100%, right? It's still a hard cap, meaning the district will pay that over 10,000. Basically, in bargaining, the district said 3,000 will cover the increases and will pretty much pay for the single payer. And we came back and said, no, that's not accurate, because look at here, when we did the calculations. So they said, okay, we'll cover Los Angeles County, Kaiser, which is the third highest, and below, which means that's the majority of our members who are on single payer are in Kaiser and below. So we will pay pretty much all their health care for the employee that works for the district. Awesome. but that made it a little more than $3,000 for that single payer. And so that's why there was just a different line explanation. But do understand that amount will go forward forever until bargained otherwise. So it's not that the district contribution will go back to what it is now after December 2024. It will go on, that 10,385, I believe that's what it is, will go on forever until otherwise bargained. But the reason that that year was stated was because of the statement that it will cover 100% of the single payer's cost in LA County for Kaiser and below. I hope that made sense to everybody, which I believe it did, hopefully. Evaluations. We are still bargaining evaluations. I'm going to be very clear. The district's really good at saying, oh, look at, here's some money, and then slipping in some language into the contract that weakens the contract for us as the employee. And the current bargaining team does not want that to occur. That said, with evaluations, yes, we have already agreed to the 5-year, but again, that does not take place. Again, that is not part of our current contract until this contract is fully ratified. And there's a whole process for that. So I'll go over that at the end. But again, that 5-year is not in place right now. So we continue on with our old contract until this contract is ratified. That said, what is the hang up for evaluations? Because of the district's constant move of teachers or certificated people throughout the year, they have a problem with evals getting done. They would like to be able to change your evaluator up until March. That's like a month before your final eval is due. I've already heard some people say, well, that doesn't sound that bad. I want you to think, you're an educator who's been working at a specific site for a few years. All of a sudden, come February, you're told, we need you to move. It's an involuntary transfer. They follow the process. There's no way to fight it. You get moved. You have 2 days. You are given the 2 days that is offered in the contract. Again, you're not guaranteed it. Your administrator has to approve those 2 days. So if you're involuntarily transferred, request those 2 days from your new administrator. Okay, so you move, and then all of a sudden you're notified that your evaluator changes. And now you only have February, March, and part of April to get ready, get used to your new site, be formally evaluated. Do you think that is fair? The answer is no. That is absolutely ridiculous. That person's evaluation should be pushed off until the following year, right? Until they are set and ready to go. Because as we all know, moving mid-year is drastic. It takes a while to get your classroom resituated because you don't know if these kids have been with a long-term sub or whatnot. So yeah, so that is our sort of hang up right now with evaluations, is that idea that they can change. They want to put that language in. They basically want to say, if someone's moved, they can still be evaluated that same year. And we have until March to change your evaluator. And we're still saying, no, that is not okay. And that's not reasonable to expect someone to be moved like that late in the year and be a tip-top shape to be evaluated in such quick notice. Okay, so that's sort of our hang up, and we don't want to go, oh, look at all this money, so we'll accept weaker language. We're not going to do that. So please be on the lookout. October 9th is our next bargaining date. Please do know the process for bargaining. What is our process for ratification? Once all the TAs are signed, so everything, the bargaining team believes it's a good contract for the members, the TAs are signed, and then it comes to us. I will have a meeting. I will have another video we will basically be discussing it with the members, and explaining why we think it's the best possible contract for us at this time. At that moment, we will have a ratification vote, which will happen at each site on paper. You will vote. Those ratification votes will be turned in and counted. And if it passes, then we've ratified it and it goes on to the school board. The school board then has to implement it, and has to approve the contract and the language. And then once they approve it, basically it's ratified, and then it just goes through some editing processes, which take a little bit. Do you know, last year when we ratified, we voted in August, but we did not see the money from the raises, the retro checks, all that stuff until like November. So again, please realize it takes time. Payroll has to switch over each person person by person. They can't just do a whole thing. Retro checks, they have to check off each person monthly for the retro checks. So it takes time. And remember, our payroll department is understaffed. So it'll take time. So please be patient. Do understand that if we were all of a sudden thrown another class into our already big classes, we would have a difficult time being able to teach and teach well with 60 students. Sorry, PE teachers, I know you already have those. So again, let's be gracious of our fellow employees in the district because we all sort of deal with the same problem. So I hope that explained everything, and I will talk to you all later.